Live from New York, you've now entered the Chop Shop. From sports to politics to social issues and everything else, you've come to the right place. Now, your host, J-Lat and T-Lats.
It was all a dream.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Chop Shop. Today, man, we're going to be talking about our youth, right? Our communities and the role models that should be in place and the role models that isn't in place, right? I know we ain't been together for a minute, so our show is basically designed to, we just chop it up. Some brothers come together and talk. But I really wanted to do this show after talking to Dana. Me and him was talking, and he was like, man, you should do a show soon. And I know everybody been busy. I know I told Miko, man, I've been so busy working doubles because, who just, even in a crisis like this where a lot of people lost their jobs, man, people just don't even want to come to work. So, and then when I do any time off, it's rest or chill with my wife. So really haven't had time to do anything. But I want to talk about our youth because you guys know what I do every day. And I just think about when we were kids. So we're going to go back in time, right? When we were kids, and we all had to deal with different things. We all grew up different ways. But I think that the difference between us and the youth now, and what I try to teach my young men every day, the level of respect, even as a young man, right, is just totally different than the climate now, right? So we're gonna talk about some things so we can help our youth. This ain't I'm not doing this to bash our youth, but I want to educate them because I think history is the best teacher, whether it's good or bad, right? So sometimes if you don't know where you're going, any road to take you there. And I think these kids don't know where they're going. They're not informed when it comes to life. Even the music that they listen to, like even the sports that they play or watch. Like I was talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Walter Payton to some of these dudes, and they was like, "Who's that?" I said, "Yo, let's watch some highlights on Randy Moss." They was like, "What did he do?" I was,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
He got to catch after him that you've been Moss and you don't know nothing about Randy Moss.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we really gotta. So I want us to dive in. I want y'all dudes to be as honest as possible and just give some feedback. So we're gonna go Dana, Miko, Ty, and then myself, and we just gonna give our point of views on some of the things that's affecting our young men. What it could be a number of topics, but what do you think is the biggest obstacle, Dana, facing our young men, and then maybe give a solution? Go ahead.
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, it's a few things. It's not like it used to be. I think they're smarter in some ways because they have more outlets of learning certain things, or it's just technology and all, to tell you the truth. But I mean, it's just the history, man. I don't think they know. They don't care. They don't care about the history. It's not the fact. I mean, even now, I look at, of course, I'm a big sports fan. And I look at, the history of baseball, like the Ken Burns history thing, which I'm watching. I've seen it before, but it's about just learning different stuff that I didn't know. But they don't care about that. They don't care about, I think, they don't care about the history that has preceded them. I truly do think that's a big, big thing, because you can ask a lot of these, and it's a lot of players too, a lot of athletes that don't know their history about who did this and who did that. I mean, you can ask kids right now, you can ask some athletes right now, who is Kurt Flood? They couldn't even tell you. I mean, most people couldn't even tell you who Kurt Flood was. I mean, because they've never done the history of how people got money. How did you get your money, your free agency money? You didn't get that just by chance. You got that because somebody set it up like that. Somebody went through. Somebody his whole career got deaded because of that. It's similar to Colin Kaepernick. His whole career was done after he challenged the system. So, you know, I think they don't know enough about their history. They don't care. And as far as people say, you know, they take life a little quick, yeah, maybe that might be the thing. But I remember the same thing growing up with us. You know, people killing people like it was going out of style, especially when we came up in the 80s in New York. That seemed like that was an ongoing thing. 80s and 90s, that was people getting knocked off left and right. So I don't know about the level of violence. I just think the level of violence it's not what it used to be. It used to be, unfortunately, it was about money. You know, more than likely it was more money. Occasionally you get the guy-girl thing. Remember D. Dalton got shot because of that guy-girl thing in Brooklyn that time. But you know, I just think it's they don't care enough about the history, and they don't get out of. I just think they don't care enough about history. As far as the music, I don't know enough about the music. I really don't, because I don't listen to it. I barely, you know, I don't. You know, only thing I know about, and when you say I do know the stupid stuff they be talking about, because, you know, I mean, you know, I do know about that. I mean, it's unfortunately the kid Pop Smoke got killed out in L.A., but he was, you know, he was about to be part of that whole culture too. But you know, I just don't. It's crazier now, you know, because like it's just I can't pinpoint it. I say it like that because I don't think I'm around enough youth to see it. So, you know, I only get what I see in the papers. I you know, because I'm not out on the street anymore where I could see how it's going down. But you know, I think that it's all about knowledge, man. Knowledge itself always has been. Knowledge itself, history, and that's what I think it boils down to. Them getting to know that. But how do we do that? How do you get through to them? Who gets through to them? And that's another thing. Who is getting through to them? We know the music is getting through to them, but who else?
And we'll talk about that. Yeah, and we'll talk about that when we talk about role models and stuff.
Right.
That's a good question to raise.
Yeah, because I don't know who. I don't know who they follow. They might follow. You know, I guess they follow the rappers or whatever the case may be. You know, but I don't know who they follow. You know.
Yeah, good job, man. Appreciate your input, brother, all the time. Miko, man, and I'm glad that we have who we have on the call because we get a different perspective. Miko, raised in the South, you know, is a different mentality.
Right.
Dana, you grew up down in the South. Me and Ty pretty much been raised on the East Coast our whole time, besides going to school in Cali, then living in the Midwest. So we got to see different things, living in different countries. You know, you get to see it.
Right.
But for the most part, throughout our young life, we was in New York. So I'm glad we got diversity in terms of different perspectives. So Miko, tell us what it's like, and you know, from a cat coming from the South, man. Give me some input.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say, like, what's up to all my dudes, all my people.
Yes, sir.
For me, man, it was as far as like just growing up, you know what I'm saying, like in the South. You know, back then, and coming from where I come from, because I come from like a little small town in Arkansas. Mm-hmm. So back then, it took a village.
Mm-hmm.
Like it took a village. It was like everybody knew everybody. You know, everybody. You know, people held people accountable for things back then, and you couldn't really do anything or get caught up without people already knowing. Like you know what I'm saying. Like you had your cats, you knew that was just bad apples, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying. It wasn't widespread. You know what I mean? Right. Because people got checked back then. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't check people now. And these youth, man, these youth, just like you said, bro, with the technology, a lot of the laws, a lot of the things that's been passed, man, over the decades, that's allowed a lot of this to happen, man. And the biggest thing I can say, man, is bottom line, man, we got to get back to us, bruh. We don't do us anymore, bruh. Like, we got to get back to us. Like the kid, like just like my man Dana said, like, you know, with the music that these cats listening to and all that. But that's just that's a part of it, bruh. Like that, but it all encompasses, man. Like my man Dana said, like, who are they listening to? And we ain't even just talking about rap music, man. It's talking about like they peers. A lot of our adults now, man, you know, especially now when you think back, because you can also put this on a lot of things that's happened to us as we was growing up. Because you know that, you know, when we had a bunch of our, you know, fathers and uncles and stuff like that, man, being incarcerated and you know, being absent from the home when we was growing up, and a lot of the things, you know what I'm saying? So that's trickling down into now, you know, with some of the kids that's growing up the way that they're growing up now. Because, and then with a lot of the kids growing up with single parents, mainly like mothers, it's like, Jerome, you notice, because you talk about this all the time with what you be doing, like how the kids just they never really had that father figure, that male figure around to help guide them on just the path of being a man. Because look, we love our Black women, love them, but it's just some things, like when it comes to like manhood, they can't teach. And with a lot of our men not being around to help them get to the point. See, some of us came out on top because we strive for better. But this is what I've learned, man, during this pandemic and during these last 4 years. If I have not learned anything, this is what I have learned. You ain't changing nobody's mind unless they want to get the information. And this is what I mean by that. You can have, people have seen the lies and stuff that's come out from this past administration, but they still down with it. They still gonna ride out. You got some of our people who are doing this when it comes to policies, and because I've heard now more than ever how Barack Obama did nothing for Black people. I've heard that so much now here recently with everything that's been going on, that I'm just like, and then when you try to explain or you try to talk, people ain't trying to hear that. So what I've learned is, people, you can't change anybody's mind. It's all about feeling. You feel the way you feel, I feel the way that I feel. And unless you want to have that discussion, it's not gonna matter. People gonna feel and think the way that they feel and think anyway, period. And that trickles down our youth as well, bro. It's like, you know, they about Instagram clicks and Facebook, and they all about getting clout, getting that 10, 15 minutes of fame, because not anybody can be famous off a 10, 15-minute click. That's what everybody's striving to be now. You know, it's the 10, 15-minute, you said, like the 15 minutes of fame or whatever. That's what they're trying to get at now. And it ain't about nothing else, man. And we got to get back to us, bruh. That's what it is. Cause like I said, cause we come from down south, you know, it took a village with us, man. You know, our neighbor, man, Miss Abraham. If we got caught up with something, she called my mama. Yeah, you know, the boy out there acting up. And by the time I get home, I'm getting a whooping. You know what I'm saying? But it's just because, you know, they watched out for the neighborhood. And it was like, yo, it take a village, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Everybody raised everybody. But nowadays, somebody else better not tell somebody else kid something that ain't your child. You don't can't say anything anymore because we're detached from us. We got to get back to us, bro. And that's what I want to say about it, man.
Man, you dropped some, as always,
Yeah.
some golden nuggets, man. And I wrote a couple things down, from I'm gonna include in what you guys have already said. All right, Ty, it's on you.
I could definitely use what Dana and Miko said together, because like what Dana was saying about the kids are smarter now. To me, I don't think they're smarter now. I just think they have more things at their disposal to be
Right.
smart. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they use it. It's like I always say, the internet is a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're an intelligent person and you're really trying to find educational things, yes, the internet is perfect. But if you just want to do crazy stuff and everything, the internet is that demon. You know what I mean? Like, it'll give you all that you need to do what you need to do in the wrong way. And like Miko was saying about the 15 minutes of fame, think about it, man. Like, growing up, I felt like when we grew up, you had to really be something. But you had to do something to be something. You know what I mean? Like we love, you know how we were in sports. Like, we couldn't have I couldn't get one hit and then all of a sudden now I'm nice at baseball. I couldn't get one touchdown and I'm nice at football. Like, you had to put work in to be considered good. Nowadays, it's like, you get a highlight tape, put it out, everybody think you good. Somebody tell you ranked, all of a sudden you good. So, and it's like music. You make one video, you a rap star. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's the microwave age, I call it. Like, they want it right now. Like, they don't want to earn it. You know what I mean? Like, we had to really earn it. Like, I always relate everything to sports. So I always say, like, when we was hooping, we had to say, me and Ron couldn't say, yo, dog, we good. No, we had to go play against people that was real good and put your nuts on the line. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you had to prove you was good. Nowadays, it's not none of that. Like, and like you said, anybody want to be famous, and that's the thing that's going on now. And then it's like Miko was saying about, we have to get back to us. I can really remember back in the days when we lived in Harlem, whereas if I was walking down the street and I cursed, a grown person could snatch me up, you know, smack me up against the head, like, and they know my mama. Ain't you Boogie Child? And I'm like, yes. And they'll grab me, take me home, let my mama know I was cursing. My mama would thank them, and then I'm gonna get another ass whoop. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, Miko, nowadays, you better not say nothing to one of these kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't never know what they gonna do. And then you're gonna have problems with their parents if you put your hands on them or say anything to them. So it's like the whole grown up and child thing is different now. It's like, it used to be a point where the kids were scared of the grown-ups. Now, these grown-ups, we scared of these kids. You know what I'm saying? And the kids know it, so they act like that. They act like, oh, we know these punk-ass parents ain't gonna do nothing to us. We know these grown-ups ain't gonna do nothing. So it's a total, like, division. Like, you know what I mean? Like, ain't no repercussions or nothing. And it's like, they just running wild, man. And they don't have no guidance because, like, I always say, I'm glad we grew up in the era where the older dudes told us what not to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I grew up around, like, think about it. Me, Rome, was probably the only ones out of everybody I associated with who either didn't sell drugs or was some type of criminal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the getaway from them was to hang out with us to play basketball. They knew that, you know, get off the block for a while, come to the park. They know the Twins is in the park, and they came to play ball. But they never glorified selling drugs. None of the dudes I knew sold drugs ever said to me, yo, dog, this is the thing to do. Like, you know, no, never glorified selling drugs. Never. They kept that away from us. Like, nah, y'all better not never do this. Nowadays, nah, dog, these dudes sipping lean, giving it to the kids. Taking pills and stuff, giving it to the kids. They want to disrespect women, telling kids, oh, you know, women ain't this and that. So it's like, it ain't just the kids, it's what's teaching the kids as well. Like, we was taught different. Like, we taught what was right from wrong, and we was emphasized. Now it's like, if you could do wrong and get attention, go do wrong, as long as you get attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Yeah, man. Wow. Yeah, that was a lot right there too, man. Y'all said a lot of stuff, man. You know me, I'm a note taker, so I'm gonna start off with one of the things that Dana has said in his opening remarks when he talked about the level of violence. And I think this is the difference. And this is what I tell young dudes, you know, that especially kids that I'm around, is like the level of violence is totally different, right? So what I mean is that when we was growing up as kids, the only people really that was getting killed, or I would say in that you was in that life, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
we didn't grow up where everybody had guns. All
No.
the people I knew that had guns were stick-up kids and kids that was hustling.
Right.
Nowadays, all these kids got guns and they not doing either one. They not stick-up kids,
So,
not killers, and they not getting no money. And the sad part about it is that they think they street kids, right? So a lot of them have identity crisis. Like the young men that I work with, it's funny because, you know, we identify, like I tell them, y'all not street dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like I know real street dudes. I was around real dudes that would take your life, or
right.
dudes that they was with would take your life. Like it's nothing. Y'all not cut from that cloth. Y'all, it's like you're trying to be something that you're not. Why would you want to be a street dude when the only thing that leads to that is the penitentiary or the cemetery? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no winning in this game, period. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of them suffer from thinking that there's something that they're not, right? So let's talk, we want to talk about music. The music that they listen to has no substance at all. And I be at work and I'm listening and I'm just like, and I'm watching them bob, and I'm like, what is he saying? Like, nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't even realize that the reason why the music plays such a role is that because you really think that you're them. But even them portraying who they are, they're not even who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going back home. Most of them, I mean, the ones that's really making it to their homes in the suburbs. These little ghetto rappers, they're going back home in the hood, and the hood will take you out quicker than anybody. Like, there's no love in the hood. Everybody that we know, Dana, Ty, everybody that we know who died got killed in the hood and got killed by somebody who looked just like us. There wasn't no police officers. There wasn't no white man. There wasn't no Hispanic man. There wasn't nobody from India or nothing like that. It was black people killing black people.
Black on black.
And I tell them, y'all ready to die over blocks that you have no investment in, that as soon as they say, we're going to retool this situation and we no longer need your services, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right.
And so you guys talked about who do these young men follow, right? So I listen to who they listen to, each other, and then people who they think, like they'll say, oh, this person is lit. This person got this person got that. And I'll be like, you know what I mean? People walk around here broke every day and you think because they got a nice car, like they got money? Like y'all don't even know what money is. You know what I'm saying? Like you never even probably seen more than $2,000. And then if you saw $2,000, you probably think like, oh my God, like I'm balling. Like our people like our people are so behind on so much stuff. And it's like Ty said they got so much at their disposal, which is that, to be honest, having too much at their disposal is really a crutch, like for them, because you never really learn that one thing that you really need to know. So you
It's a detriment.
you learning all of these different things, but you've never mastered one thing to help you out in life.
Because they have no focus.
Yeah, and everybody, yo, hit me on the gram. Like, this is what I say all the time, because y'all know the environment I work on. Kids are getting caught up, going to jail, because they're putting the information on the. I said, do you not realize that there's a police task force that follow in every city that follows a certain area? So when you on the gram, the police is on the gram. So when you got guns out and you saying, yo, we on 59th and we over here, they like, we there too. And then you get locked, and then when you get locked up, you like, oh, yo, he hot. He told on me. No, you told on yourself. You hot because you on the gram putting business on there that you shouldn't. And then you come to jail and you say, oh, yeah, shorty, he over there hot. He telling. Not realizing you've been telling all your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these kids are so lost, and it like, going to work every day, bro, it's like, you know me, y'all know me, I try to educate and teach all the time. And Miko, you said it so clear, my brother. You cannot help a person that don't want to learn.
That's right.
And it's like, you could give them the keys to the car, and they can't even put the key in the ignition because they ain't even figured out that the cars made nowadays, you don't even have to put the key in. All you got to do is sit in the car. They trying to put the key in, and there's no ignition spot.
Nothing.
Yo,
like, all you got to do is just get in.
It's funny you say that because I know, just real quick, I know this one saying that I heard this female say, look, I can make your plate, but I can't lift your fork.
Exactly.
Right.
And I want to get on two other things before I get off on this, and then we're gonna head on. Miko, you said another key point that we butt heads, like our people, we at war with each other, not just at war in when Kamala got nominated for the vice president, my wife was showing me a lot of stuff that people were saying about her, the things she was doing in California and putting people in jail now. And my thing was like, if they wasn't committing no crimes, she wouldn't have to do her job. That's number one. Secondly, at this point, we should be so thankful where we came from as Black people that a woman and a Black woman is even considered for that position.
Not even focused on that.
They didn't even see that, son. They didn't even see that.
They not look at the historic amount.
Exactly. Leads me into my man Barack. So I've been watching a lot on Barack Obama, I'll say the last year. And I think sometimes when a person is in the seat, especially as Black people, we don't realize how much they do or what they had to go through. I'll tell anybody, go watch the interview with the Breakfast Club and Barack Obama that I just recently saw. And it's a couple of other interviews. Barack had to deal with so much. I'm talking about myself too. We're so uneducated in some areas that we don't even know things that he had to do to get a bill passed.
Right. Oh, man.
Simple stuff. But Black people was like, oh, he didn't do nothing for Black people. And he broke it down, all the stuff that he did for Black people. But the media and people's lack of intelligence, lack of understanding, and lack of knowledge have them to think that he didn't do nothing. But he was the president of the United States. That means all people. He wanted to change a whole lot of things. But as we can see right now, the way Mitch McConnell and them are,
they wasn't behind him.
Why he wasn't able to do anything things that he wanted to do. And my last thing, when it comes to the youth, this is my man, my son. He said, are we giving the kids jewels or are we giving them the tools? And he don't mean tools he talking about the tool, the guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, are we giving them jewels or are we giving them the tools? And these young boys, I'm telling you, especially here in DC, they think carrying a gun makes them tough. And I tell them all the time, you're a coward. I tell them to their face. I don't got to go nowhere to carry a gun. And guess what? If I do, that means I ain't going to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Word.
Gun,
yeah.
Listen, gun don't make you tough. Like, you got a lot of chumps, a lot of cowards, a lot of suckers that have killed people that isn't tough. So if you think that you got to carry a gun to be considered tough, or you got an identity crisis, and typically you're a person that's scared. So let me go get me a gun. Like I was talking to one of my young boys the other day. We had a good conversation. I said, y'all carrying around all these guns, y'all paying for all of these guns, y'all getting this. I said, some of y'all walking around with a gun that is more than what you got in your bank account. Now, how dumb?
They don't even have life insurance.
No. So when you die, and then your mama is on Facebook and Twitter and the
GoFundMe
about can we get a GoFundMe?
Or a car wash.
Yeah.
Right.
Or a fish fry.
Right.
Come on, man.
They ain't even out here beefing and they ain't even got no life insurance.
Wasn't no GoFundMe's when we was coming up. You feel me?
The GoFundMe was you better go get that money.
You better go
Right.
get that money. Word.
Yeah, the best.
Wasn't no GoFundMe's when we was coming up.
We're gonna go to our next question, and we're gonna tie it. We basically gonna tie it in together. So I want to talk about our communities because we all grew up in communities where there was a lot going on, especially in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up, Todd, Dana, and myself, we grew up in the era, like, I can honestly say we grew up in the era where the Kingpins was, it was in New York. Like, we was around not only were we around some major dudes that was getting real money, not like what these little dudes making today. Like, it's a joke. But even right before we transcended into our teenage years, we started playing ball on the side of town where I would never even walk that way, right?
That's right.
I'm talking about you wouldn't even go down that block if you wasn't.
You had no reason to.
Or selling, you wasn't going up 150th with Pappy Mason and Fat Cat and them. You was not even attempting to walk that way. And I remember the first time walking just that direction to go to 48 and play ball. And Ty remember, he was like, yo, we would have never walked this way. Ever. Not that we was not that we know killers and we definitely wasn't no chumps, but we was smart. Like
You had no reason to.
You know what I'm saying? You had no reason to even go on in that area. So my question is, how have our communities changed and how can we help better our community? So we'll go
They've taken they've taken so much. The money that's the money that's supposed to be, what happens? What happens too? We talking about changing our community and everything, or people. We got to talk to these councilmen, these representatives in these areas. That's where it really starts at too, because they can, if anything, they can help out with trying to get some funding for these programs that they have cut out. They don't want, that's where I think it starts at. It starts at, the representatives, and then the people that have made money that have come out of that community coming back, and not saying they have to live there, but being a little more involved. Not for nothing, a guy like 50 Cent. Everybody does the turkey thing and all this other stuff, but even without the turkey thing, in the summer he would get a couple of buses and take kids to Six Flags and stuff like that, like getting people back that actually actually have money, that they want to come back and want to be able to help out. It's a lot, man. Don't get it wrong, man. It's a lot of people out here that made money that are actually trying to do something for the community. But I think if you pull everybody together instead of everybody trying to do it themselves individually, like, even Mook Diamond. Mook has something for the kids. He tries to do stuff for the community, for the kids, through the police department and stuff like that. If you have more people doing that together, I think it would make a big difference. But everybody does it individually, so it doesn't seem like anything's getting done. So I think that's what has to happen. I think people need to come together and pull together and talk to these council people and these representatives of Queens and Brooklyn and all this stuff they get elected for, and I don't know what they do. But I think, that's where it starts at. I think it starts there, and then, you filter out.
Good job. Nico.
Bruh. Dana, man, I'm finna piggyback off everything that you just said because you touched on it, and I'm finna take it just a bit further. Like, people need to give back. And the reason why I'm looking like this, because I'm so frustrated to the point to where I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I haven't given a damn about sports, man, this year. Don't care. Don't care, bro. I don't care who won no NBA championship.
No.
I don't care who won no. I don't care who wins no Super Bowl. I don't care about no World Series. I don't care about no. I don't care about none of that, bro. Because what's done happen is we see that the powers that be don't give a F about us. It's all about them making money.
That's right.
Coronavirus is dangerous right now, bro. This is killing people, and it's killing us more than anybody else. But they still get out there, play sports, and make this money for us, because that's what it comes down to. Because I'm telling you right now, Dana, what you said, this is why I'm gonna say this, bro. You mean to tell me, bro, out of all the millionaires we got in the NBA, all the millionaires we got in the NFL, out of all the black millionaires we got in Major League Baseball, that them cats couldn't be like, nah, man, we ain't playing no more.
Nah, they wasn't doing that.
We done. We pulling all of us together. We finna cripple this until we get things done the way that we need to get them done. And until then, we're not playing anymore. All of us, all of these millionaires and these millionaires that's in these professional sports, we ain't playing no more, bruh. We done. We need to pull all of our money together, because what y'all gonna do if we ain't there? We are the franchises. They come to see us. We making y'all money. So now, what y'all gonna do now if we ain't playing? We finna pull all the black millionaire NBA players, all the black Major League Baseball players, which is why I said at the very beginning of this, we need to get back to us. If we pulled all of that money together, we finna change all of these neighborhoods. We finna go in and make sure we give all of our people the financial education they need, the resources they need to get things done in their neighborhoods. We need to go and galvanize these communities of these black leaders and put the resources and things they need at their disposal so they can help their communities. But until then, we ain't playing no more sports.
Right.
We got enough money. We gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Your big talent NBA and Major League Baseball players with these 200, 300, 400 million contracts. Yo, we good. So what we gonna do, we gonna pull all our money for all of our players, and we're gonna give back to these communities and make sure our people is good. Our people. And that's why I haven't cared about sports this year, bro. Because keep hearing about people who would get tested positive, and you still got these coaches and these owners like, well, they can still, we can still go play. Bro, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. But when I look at it, it's mostly us that's dying, so you really don't care. The show must go on to put money in your pocket. That's what you're telling me. You know what I'm saying? So you don't care about my life at all. These jobs ain't loyal. We know that. We know it's all about us putting money in your pocket. You can care less about us, and you've just proven that more often than not. Just like Dana said before, and Jerome, and you said too. When we think about the black leaders and the community leaders like that we had before, even cats in sport, like Dana, when you was talking about the cats coming up, and Jerome, and you was talking about the cats coming up, and Ty, you was too. When you think about cats like Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, he was like, nah, bro, this what it's gonna be about. Blackballed out the league.
Career.
Craig Hodges, like, nah, bro, this was supposed to be about.
Killed his career.
Blackballed out the league. You know, when you start having these cats speak and be like, no, Colin Kaepernick today. Look at all these sorry quarterbacks that's playing right now, and he can't get a phone call. Brother, it tells you something. That's what I'm saying. They don't care about none of that. We want y'all to put money in our pocket. You still got some of these racist cats right now on the streets, the sports people on the streets, these professional athletes, they still N-words and whatever. But as long as we out there dunking the ball for them and running touchdowns and stuff like that, they love us. But as soon as that game is over, we back to being N-words. You know what I'm saying? As soon as that game is over with, as long as we running touchdowns and dunking the ball and hitting threes so they can go out and brag about what city that they from and how great of a team that they have and have that debate with other people. It's all good. But as soon as that conversation ends, we back to being N-words. We even N-words during the conversation for a lot of these races. But as long as we put money in their pocket and they're betting and stuff like that, that's the only thing that they care about.
That's right. That's right.
Man, bro.
Yes, sir.
Man was passionate about that, though.
Right.
I mean, that's, the good thing. I think the great thing about this conversation is that we all have a different experience, right? We all see things differently, but I think we all have one common ground is that we want to see us do better, and we want to see people do better. But I think what happens with us, is, especially as Black people, Ty say this all the time, is that we gotta really love ourselves, but we gotta also be critical of ourselves. When we not, we gotta be critical of ourselves. Like I tell these kids all the time, like I'm tired of seeing young men dying. Like we just lost a kid not too long ago, and trying to rob somebody and got killed. You know what I'm saying? Got shot 15 times. I knew this little kid. He could hoop a little too. Not a bad kid, but we haven't learned respect. We haven't learned the importance of loving each other. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't love, then you hate. And you hate people who are in the same economical, social situations as you. When we was growing up, I don't even remember nobody. I mean, hating. Like, I didn't hate nobody growing up. I'm like, we all suffering. Like, like we all in the same boat. So just because I lived in Jamaica over here and my boys and them lived in Liberty or up the block or 88th or whatever, why I'm gonna hate you when we all struggle? Like none of us got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, we have to get back to loving each other and showing that we care about us first. And because one thing I will say, I'll let you go, Ty, and then I'll go. One thing I admire about other nationalities, whether it's the Jews, whether it's the Hispanics, whether it's the Asians, whether it's people from the Middle East, they love gay people, man.
Like this.
They love you. Look, they might
like
beef with them, but you ain't gonna beef with them. They gonna take care of each other, and they show it in the way they spend their dollars, in the way they spend their time, and the way they spend their conversations. They build together, and we build apart. So, go ahead, Ty. What you think?
Man, what y'all said was dope. And like Rome said, my one criticism that I always have is that, like Rome said, I always speak out against us. And people look at it like, oh, you're always saying something about Black people. But I'm like, we got to criticize ourselves, man. Like, think of a cop right now could go shoot one of us and we'll go nuts. Then one of us will go shoot 20 of us, and then we like, things happen, things happen in the hood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't criticize each other enough because, like I always say, man, I'm a self person. I believe you got to get yourself right before you can even speak about anybody else. So as Black people, we have to come together, man, and get ourselves right because, like I said, man, I know for a fact that no other race could go through what we've gone through and still be here. You know what I mean? And there's a reason for that because we are powerful people, but we don't use our power the right way. Like we talk about the whole community thing. Everybody want to go back to the hood and give back just to make it. But you ever see when they go back, what they got a video camera. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Think about it.
Word.
As soon as they come back to get back to the hood, they got a video camera. So I'm giving out turkeys and I want you to film it.
Look at what I'm doing.
Camera. So then everybody can say, yo, Ty, get back to the hood. But me going back and giving to the hood really ain't gonna help the hood. Now, if I say me, Rome, Dana, you know what I mean? All of us together, we all go to the hood together, our own hood, and do it together, then we can do something. But I can't do it by myself. You know what I mean? And our problem is we don't have unity because everybody want to be the man.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody want to be the man. Like, come on, man. Like, think about it. I always say this. This is my philosophy in life. When we win a championship, all our rings going to have the same amount of diamonds in it. Think about it. LeBron ring, when he gets the championship, the last dude, Cook, he didn't even play in the championship. His ring going to have the same amount of diamonds as LeBron. Because they was on the same team and they won together. So long as you winning, it don't make a difference who's the man. You know what I'm saying? But our philosophy is we just can't get out of our own way, man.
Word.
Like I had a discussion, I was telling somebody, like, I had a dude tell me, you know, Black Lives Matter, I'm not with that because some white people invented it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying to him, dog, you're black, right? So how can you be against anything that is saying that your life matter? That don't make no, like, I don't care if the KKK started Black Lives Matter. I'm with Black Lives Matter. Like, that's common sense. Like, it ain't about who started it. And then I told him, I said, okay, you cheer for these basketball teams on a regular basis. You buy these jerseys, right? Who own the team? Don't know black dude, unless it's the Charlotte Hornets, but don't know black person own no sports team. So you rooting for them, and that's who started that. Matter of fact, the NBA period. Who started the NBA? Not us. We run it because of our talent, but who runs that for real? So anything it ain't about who started it, it's the principle. Like, Black Lives Matter was going on around the world, man. You had people that wasn't even black out there rooting for us. You know what I mean? Cheering for us, dog. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, it amazed me how I was seeing other countries really Black Lives Matters, but it was no black people. That's crazy. That's showing you how much power we really have. But then you flip it around, we still out here killing each other and beefing with each other when we got the world, and we got the world in the palm of our hand, where if we were to unite, they will unite with us. But it's gonna come a time where they're gonna be like, damn, why am I out here fighting for them when they killing each other? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna come to that point where they're gonna be like, man, listen, black people just ain't gonna get it together, man. We gotta stop trying to help them because they ain't trying to help themselves. And it's all about unity, man. Like, like I said, man, you gotta love yourself, though. We gotta realize how powerful we are, man. Like I got an ego, dog. Being black, I got an ego. And my ego tell me there's nobody in the world better than me. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my ego. If I put my mind to something, I don't care who put their mind to it with me. We either gonna be the same or I'm gonna be better. You know what I'm saying? And that's the power of just being black to me, man. It's just something different. And for us not to realize how powerful we are, we have to do that, man. And we have to come together and realize that no one person can do it, man. And like Miko was saying about sports, I said the same thing. Like, I don't understand how, like, football, man. Like, basketball, I understood because they took the precaution. They put everybody in a bubble. They didn't have nobody catching it, so I could understand them going along. But football, dog, like, every day there's somebody getting a virus. And then they, like, sweeping under the rug, like, you know, don't worry about it. We still playing Sunday. Baseball, somebody get it. Oh, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like you said, they don't care about us, man. It's the money. Like I said, man, people be like, oh, you know, they can't be racist. They, you know, they, for the sport. Now, listen, man, they only like black people that's making them money, dog. That's it. Them owners don't have no black friends. They don't have, think about it. I guarantee you, these owners that own these sports teams do not associate with nobody black that is not on their payroll. I can guarantee you that. They don't have no poor black friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have nobody where they look out for that's black or Spanish or anything else. They deal with black people that's rich and that's going to make them richer. Rather, I take that back. They deal with rich black people who are going to help them stay wealthy. You know what I mean? And that's it. And that's the bottom line, man. And we got to realize that if we don't come together, man, it ain't going to be right.
That's it right there. That's it.
Man, y'all boys dropped some stuff, man, so let me give my input. Dana spoke earlier, and I think a couple of things that we could do to help our community, right? Our churches, our mosques,
Word.
our entertainers, but most of all, the person who has to have the biggest influence is the people that's actually in the communities. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have an investment in where you stay. You know, I don't expect no. I live in Virginia, so I don't. I'm just using an example. I don't expect Ralph Sampson to come and do something for the people of Virginia just because he was a star here, right? If I'm living here, and I think, you know, you look at LeBron and who get probably the most criticized athlete of our time to me, superstar, right? A kid who's squeaky clean, never get in no trouble. The only thing they can ever say is that he made a decision to go somewhere else, which they consider a bad decision, even though he raised $3 million. And even though when teams trade you, you could be on vacation, they could trade you to another team. You have no say so in it. But here's a kid who made this in the league, and all of a sudden he's the bad guy. But LeBron opened up a school. The kids that go to the school, the parents live rent free while they're in the school, right?
Incredible.
You can't just look at one person, as all of y'all been saying, as Ty been saying, and put all of the weight on that one person. It's the people of the community. When we was growing up, it was the grandfathers, the uncles, the fathers, the grandmothers, the aunts that put you in line, right? Like it was a code. I wasn't cursing around no adult, even when I started cursing. Like, you might go outside, you might go
Yeah.
in the bathroom, you might go to the park, but you
Only
ain't
around your
cursing
boys.
in the house. You're not
Only
cursing
around your
around.
boys.
You're not cursing around no adult. I don't even care if you related to them. It was just like a code. Like, you walk that line. If I saw somebody that was an adult, somebody's parent, my mouth is shut. When they leave, I might, we might start cursing, but we're not doing it in front of them.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays, their mouth is so terrible that they think that that's the norm, but they don't even realize that's the reason why you're where you're at. Like, you won't even evolve because you don't even see that you have a deficiency. You don't see that you have a problem because it's been accepted so much that it's become the norm. And then when somebody like me correct them, they're like, "Oh man, Latimer, you be tripping." I said, "Listen, I've been through all walks of life, right? If you think you're gonna get a job somewhere talking the way you talk, you sadly mistaken. And I'm not gonna be one to lie to you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, you're gonna be in trouble. It's a difference between sitting with your homeboys and acting like normal people and maybe you cursing and all of that, to sitting in a boardroom, sitting in an interview room with somebody who wants to hire you for a job, and by the way you articulate your words, they looking at you like, because when you walk in, I'm just gonna keep it real, as a black person, a black man, a black woman, there's so much that we have to go through just to get on our path. And now I have to show and explain how I can hold the conversation. You can trust in me that I'm going to be a great representative of your company because I know how to articulate myself. But if I go in there with slang all day, they're going to be looking like, "Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. We'll get back with you." And they're not getting back with you. You know what I'm saying?
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah, we no longer need your services, right? So our communities, man, need a makeover, and we need parents to just be that, to be parents, not friends, to be parents. Like, the days of, you know, people actually parenting is gone. Like,
Right.
I see kids saying stuff out their mouth. I'm like, man, I wish I was bold enough to say that. Like, my mom didn't play.
No.
Even my grandmother with her crazy stuff, like, "Boy, who you talking to?" Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
I wouldn't even dare, because you never know what might be coming. Whether it's a frying pan, extension cord, a knife, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just that level of fear made you say, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that out my mouth because I don't know what I might get hit with.
Hey, Rome,
What's up?
Rome, you know what's up though?
What?
That didn't even spark fear. It made you respect them.
No doubt. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It made you respect them. It's like, no, I just respect that. Like,
Yeah.
I know better. You know, you didn't even like, you weren't even like really afraid of them like that. You just respected the fact that they would knock my block off if I come out here wrong.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And that's what I do with my young men, right? Like, I let them know straight up and down. I don't know what era y'all came from, who y'all been around, the way y'all talk to certain people and staff. Like, I'm not that dude.
Right.
Even listen, as a man, I don't disrespect no other man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm definitely not letting no teenager disrespect me because I don't even bring off that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all don't realize that, like, y'all don't even know where people come from, what they about, and then y'all not even built like that. And that's the thing that be cracking me up. It's like you not even. I be hearing stat like my little young dudes. Sometimes they get out of hand and they might tell the staff, "Man, I'll hit you in the face. I'll do this. I'll do that." And I mean, like, why don't you just throw a punch? Like, I mean, y'all ain't even no threat to y'all peers.
Right.
You know, so you think you gonna hurt this grown man? Like, you first of all, you weigh about 150, 160. He like 2 something. So he gonna ball you up and beat the brakes off of you.
Right.
Like y'all don't even bring off that type of energy. Y'all and as dudes that been around real dudes and then seen a lot of stuff, like we see right through y'all. You see the scaredness just by the way they talk. I know you ain't nothing like you. Listen,
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's sad because in our era, if I said, Dana, I'm gonna punch you in the face, or Dana, I'm gonna slap you, 2 things gonna happen. Either I better be ready to slap you or punch you in the face, or I better be ready for you to do the same to me. Just because I said I was gonna do something to you, and I did.
Yeah, because that was the thing with us.
Nowadays, these little dudes be saying stuff, and I got to check myself. I be shaking my head. They be like, "Yo, Latimer, what's up?" I'm like, I don't understand how y'all be talking to each other. The stuff that comes out of your mouth. I was like, there's no way we could be on a unit together and you try to sneak me today, and then we on the floor together the next day, and you think it's cool? Like every day you gonna know I'm checking in every day, or you better be ready to fight. Cause it's on every day. I'm gonna make it so uncomfortable for you every day. Just because you try to violate me instead of, we could go one-on-one. But you try to sneak me and then you want to sit down with me and we're going to play Madden or we're going to watch TV? Oh, no. Y'all, I tell them, y'all live a totally different, y'all live a sucker code because I don't even understand that. Like, we can't be cool no more. And I'm to the point where I'm going to let you know that it's on. So I'm not going to sneak you, but just know when you come out, you better be ready. You're going to see me coming. It's not going to be like you on the phone or you sitting down and I come behind you because I'm telling you, this is what the era kids do. Every day, these kids will sneak each other all the time and then go to school together. I'll be like, I don't understand y'all. I'm like, where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? It's no moral ethics. If we got a problem, it's 2 things. If we got a problem, we could talk about it or we could get busy. If not, it ain't about nothing. No.
Hey, Rome, I always say, man,
no code ethics.
If there was a new rule where as men, whenever you had a disagreement with another man, y'all put the gloves on and just got it on, it would stop a lot of unnecessary beef because most people can't fight and don't want to fight. You know what I mean? But I mean, don't get me wrong, as men, sometimes, things get a little tested. We might have to, get it in. Okay, cool. If we can't talk it out, nothing wrong with putting the gloves on and boxing it out. We whoop, we get tired, whoop each other, then we'll be cool. But at the end of that, we both gonna be alive and we gonna respect each other.
Oh.
These days, it ain't no respect because people just
None.
want to shoot and kill. And a lot of times, what they shooting and killing for really is not a problem. It's like you don't really have a problem with me, and I really don't have a problem with you. It's just ignorance, man. It's that
Ignorance.
everybody want to be the man thing.
They don't realize it till they locked up.
Listen, man.
Then once they're locked up, they realize it like, holy, you know, like, was it that
example.
serious?
Prime example, right? Until we're going to go into our last question. So one of my little young boys that was at my facility, he got 18 years for murder, right? Wasn't a bad kid. Wasn't even I would say a killer, but he killed somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't a problem when he was with us, but he didn't address us as sir, mister, none of that. Like, as long as you call me Latimer, I'm cool. I ain't really with that. You know what I'm saying? It don't really bother me. My man told me when the marshals came, because at our facility the marshals come and pick them up when they go do their time. When it's real time going to the feds, the marshals come get them. My man said he took them up there. He telling the marshals, yes sir, what do you want me to do, sir? And all that. He said he was looking at him like, I've been with you like over a year, and you ain't never say sir. Then he said, the white marshal coming, you fall in line. And I told him, I said, listen, here's the reality, right? The agency that we work for give y'all a false sense of what life is really about. This is not jail. This is like sleepaway camp. And y'all can't even function here. When you go to jail, the white folks ain't telling you but one time. They're gonna tell you one time. And when you tell them, oh, I ain't doing, as soon as you say I ain't, they're not even letting you get to the rest of the sentence. They're gonna hand you up, put you in that cell, and beat the brakes off of you.
Right.
And you gonna fall in line after that because you're not tough. And the other inmates gonna be looking at you like, who are real killers, and gonna look at you like, yo, shorty, what you thought this was a game? Like,
Right.
I'm falling in line and I'm about that life.
Right.
You's a little nobody, and you coming in here and you telling them what you ain't gonna do.
Ask them dudes upstate.
These young boys are so lost.
Right.
They deal with identity crisis, and I revert back to, you're not even a threat amongst your peers. So I be telling you, you're not even on my level. Like, you can't even beat up your peers.
Right.
And they not even built like that. I'm a grown man, dog. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like,
right.
They don't, but they've been taught to live outside of their imagination.
Their reality.
Right, their reality. So they haven't been taught, like, somebody's gonna hurt you. Like, I got some young boys, like, I tell them all the time, I'm honest with them, like, somebody is going to hurt you.
Hey.
Because of your mouth. And I'm fearful when you leave here, like, you're gonna say something to the wrong person the wrong way. And these kids out here in DC, they killing like it's no tomorrow.
I heard.
They'll listen, bro. They will take your life like it's no tomorrow.
I heard it's been like that for a long time down there.
But when it's time to go to jail, I promise you, they can't even deal with our facility being in a room for an hour. Yo, can I get out? I need to do this. I need to do that. And I'd be like, how you gonna function with grown men? You want to be out here doing all of this street stuff. You're not a street dude. And then when you get time, you crying wolf. Come on, man. So the last question, and then we're going to wrap it up in this segment, is what can we do in terms of building better communities with mentors and role models? Give me a blueprint. What can we do? I'm going with you, Dana. And me going then Ty.
What can we do to build?
Yeah, what do we need in terms of role models in our community?
We need what's the word I'm looking for? We need not initiation, but we need volunteers, I think. But not just volunteers. You need influential volunteers. Like I said before, you could do it as an individual. I can get out here, you can get out here, everybody can get out here as an individual and do that. But you need somebody, it has to be a collective, like you said before, T. It has to, it takes a village. And that's what it takes. It has to be a village of people that are willing to dedicate their money and their time to one cause. And that cause is, the worst thing that happened to us too, and I hate to say it, I'm not gonna say the worst thing, but one of the things that happened to us too, it happened a long time ago. It's just so hard the integration, man.
Yeah. I was hoping you was gonna say that. I was hoping you was gonna say that, bro.
Because let me tell you, we don't have anything that we can identify as our own. Todd, we don't have no stores in Jamaica, Queens that a black person owns. What black person we knew coming up owned a store in Queens, except for Jamaica, or except for the Coliseum, or what's name, the older, they own the sneaker shop. Kevin owned the sneaker shop, something like that. Freddie owned the barber shop. But as far as stores, banks, stuff like that, hospitals, it's all gotten away from us, man. It's all gotten away from us.
They're the type of things that we only gonna get if we unite. Ain't no one person here that ain't like. Think about it. Ain't no one person gonna go get a bank. But if we get 10 people that got millions, we can go get a bank.
At one time, it was at least 50 banks and 500 hospitals throughout the nation, all black owned. Now, like I said before, the integration hurt us, and now we need to get back to that. It's us, black owned, everything black, man. I'm sorry to say, but this is what it has to be. It's got to get back to this. That's the only way. You think about it. In the 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever the case may be, we might not be able to rock with the white people, but we had our own in the neighborhoods, in Harlem. They had their own stores. They had their own clubs. Stuff was black owned.
I seen Harlem Night. Right.
Now it's not like that. So how do we get back to that? How do we draw the kids in? How do we draw the parents in? How? I don't have an answer for that. My only answer is that we need to get back to us. Like I said, the integration hurt us, man. It really did. Because we got away from us. And it's hard. They knew that. And they knew that. We got away from us, man. And we need to get back to us. And like I said, to make a long story short, we need to, like I said, more people, more influential people. We need to have, everybody needs to get together. LeBron has the I Promise School. Where's the I Promise School in New York? Where's that in wherever the case may be? I see it's like you said, all these people have all this money, but we need to pull together and get these schools. Put these schools together. Now, if you do it now, see, the only thing about it now, if you do it now, it's like, oh, well, they're racist. They don't want to be with us anymore. They don't want. No, we just need to have our own identity. And we work so hard.
Think about it. You got to take care yourself first before you can take care of anybody else. So we got to get right amongst ourselves. And that ain't racist, dog. Racist is hate. Like if you love yourself and respect other people, but you take your time to love yourself, that ain't a bad thing.
That's what I say. But that's what it will be perceived as. But so what? I don't care about that. don't care how they look at it. I care about us having our own, man. Once upon a time, we had our own, bro. We had our own.
They don't say that about Little Italy. They don't say that about Chinatown. You know,
right?
So why can't we have ours?
The Hasidic Jews got their own. They've always had their own. Own schools.
Because they know
this whole pandemic, their school was open.
It's because they know. I'm telling you, man. They know who we are. The problem is we don't know who we are. That's what I always tell people. Like the white people, they know how powerful we are. That's why they make sure they keep us separate and keep us from uniting. They know how powerful we are. Our problem is we don't know who we are. And that's the problem.
All right.
Right.
Miko, I think you next.
Yeah. Go ahead, Miko.
That is exactly what I meant by we need to get back to us. That's why I'm so glad, Dana, that you said about the integration part, because if you look back at the history, what Martin Luther King was saying right before he passed away, well, I ain't say passed away, before he got murdered, he said, I think I led my people down the wrong path.
Right.
Because he was saying we should have been dealing with the economics and all that a lot more than just trying to be integrated and stuff like that, because
equal.
Yes.
He was already equal.
Being equal. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. And that's why I'm saying, Jerome, Ty, Dana, y'all know this because y'all been in New York. I've only been through New York. But y'all can tell me this and tell me if I'm lying. I want y'all to tell me if I'm lying. In the black neighborhoods in New York, you can find, now tell me if I'm lying, because I could be wrong, but I've seen this and you know what I'm saying? So in the black neighborhoods, you can find like little Chinese takeouts, like little pizzeria joints and stuff like that. But if you go to Asian neighborhoods and you go to Italian neighborhoods, are you going to find a soul food restaurant?
No.
You're going to find a black, no. They're not going to let you build in their neighborhoods like that, but they come and build in ours, in our neighborhoods all the time. They come build their nail shops and their hair salons and their Chinese takeouts and
hardware stores.
And hardware stores, because they know as black people, we consumers. So they know we're going to spend that money. That's why you find a rent-a-center close to black neighborhoods.
Oh yeah.
You don't find them close to white neighborhoods because they already know. And here's the thing. That's why I said we need to get back to us. This is what I've been saying this for the longest time. And the solution is it has to start on the community level. It has to start with us having meetings and coming together on a community level. And Ty, bruh, you are 1,000% right. When it comes to the point to where we couldn't do it because everybody tried to be the man. If I was with you, Ty, if I was with you, Rome, and it was a group of y'all, and y'all enlisted me, and you asked me, yo, come help. We finna go into this neighborhood in New York and do this and do that and give back. If I'm with y'all, I'm deferring to y'all what y'all think we should do. Yo, this y'all's neighborhood. Like, this where y'all from. So,
right.
So what we gonna, I'm not gonna come in and try to be like, nah, man, this is what we gonna do. We gonna like, nah, bruh, this y'all's area. This y'all know these y'all's people. What's the best thing y'all think that we could do? And I'm just gonna help. I'm playing in the background and I'm helping. What y'all need for me to do? But our problem is, like I said, we got so much ego. One black man can't stand to see another black man get nothing.
Right.
They can't stand it. It's like instead of him cheering him on, he's talking about him. He's degrading him. Oh, that N-word, this, that N-word, that. You know what I'm saying? But instead of him being like, yo, that brother's trying to do something, man. Let me go do and help and try to figure out what he's doing. How can I be down? How can I help? I'm gonna rely, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna defer to black economists. I'm gonna defer to black leaders in the area who's been organized before. What you need our help in, and then what's gonna take is like I said, all these black NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball players, like, look, man, forget that. We're going to pull our money and go in and start helping rebuild these neighborhoods as a group, as a unit. Not just LeBron go back and help build up Akron by himself and do this.
Right.
Like, no, a group of people, a complete group of people going back to help build these neighborhoods. Because LeBron, although he got all the money, he can't do it by himself. You know what I'm saying? And then you got all these cats with this loot and stuff that, you know, because you got LeBron who play for, you know, like L.A. So let's say that LeBron from Akron and other cats that may be from Akron or they may be from Cleveland that grew up like around the area. They all collectively come together, but like, man, we need to go back and start helping rebuild these neighborhoods, man. Give these people in these neighborhoods financial education about what it means to be financially secure. It ain't all about getting that bag and stuff like that. No, it's all about investing in your future, building up your neighborhoods, building not just having a hair salon or barbershop in your neighborhood. Just like my man Dana said, no, we got to have banks in our neighborhood. We got to have supermarkets. We got to have libraries. We got to have hotels. We got to have gas stations. We got to put and they got to be black owned, put back in our neighborhoods. We got to learn and teach our young black men and black women the basics of just learning how to cook, the basics of learning basic farming techniques.
Right.
Just the basic
Points.
The voice for us to
Points.
come together and help build these communities. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, maybe y'all can help me. Jerome, maybe you can help me. Todd, maybe you can help me. Dana, maybe you can help me. Because I don't know. What has the NAACP done? They've been around forever. Have they? I mean, and you got a chapter in almost every city and stuff like that. Are they out in the communities galvanizing, building, making sure everything is done? I see Al Sharpton when somebody get shot or he want to get up and make a speech, but then he vanished into the spotlight.
He's got a. I didn't want to interrupt you. He has a show on. He has a show on MSNBC. So. You know, he's done what he needed to do pretty much.
And
you know,
see,
you understand what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know, you got the Rainbow Coalition, you got the NAACP. I'm thinking about all these should be in our communities every week or whenever, having meetings about financial, like I said, helping to build less. But I don't ever hear about any of that until somebody get killed and it's on the news and now they want to come out and have a rally. It needs to start before that happens. We need to be in our and that's when our black professional athletes need to be meeting with these people and going into the neighborhoods and helping to build, because now I've learned, especially since this, it's all about that bag for some people, man. They could care less.
That's right.
And that's terrible, dog.
And that's terrible, Todd. That's what I'm saying. It's all about that bag. They could care less. So go ahead, Todd, man. It's on you, bro.
Yeah, I'm glad. Like what you were saying. Like, to me, I always look at everything as like a foundation, man. Like us, we got to build from the bottom up because our whole foundation is messed up. Like, ain't no use starting on the 7th floor when the basement is messed up.
Word.
Like with our community, we gotta have a moral standard, dog. Like you always say about these kids, a lot of the problems with these kids is that we have people having kids who shouldn't be having kids. You know what I mean? Like, if your life is terrible, you a drug addict, you a high school, you ain't graduated from high school, you ain't got nothing. Why are you having 4 or 5 kids and making their lives messed up from the beginning, just like yours? Like, that gotta be frowned upon. Like,
right.
And people be having baby showers for people, and I be saying to myself, what are you celebrating? Like, for real. Like, let's keep it 100. Like, she got 3 kids, 2 baby daddies now, and she ain't got no money, so she got another kid, and that's another. What are y'all really celebrating? You know what I mean? Like, we gotta have a moral standard where people are held accountable. Like we say, when we grew up, man, it was certain things you couldn't do. Like you just couldn't do it. Like there was certain ways you had to carry yourself. What you said, you had to stand by it. Like right now, there's no morals, man. Like we as Black people, man, like we just like addicted to ignorance, man. Like, and that has to stop. Like
bro.
Like me and Rome, I started that thing with Rome saying like down 20. And what I meant by that is that as Black people, we're behind in the game from the beginning. So we have the talent to catch up, but in order for us to catch up, we can't keep making mistakes. You know what I mean? Like I put in the form of basketball. If I'm playing against a scrubby team and they up 20, I'm not really worried about it because I know we're going to come back. We're going to stop turning the ball over. We're going to stop taking bad shots, and we're going to do what we're doing. But as Black people right now, dog, we throwing the ball in the stands. Like, we kicking the ball in the stands. We shooting from half court. Like, we ain't playing no D. Like, we giving the game away because we not holding ourselves accountable, man. Like, I don't care what other people do. Like, they always say, oh, you can't talk about Black on Black crime because there's white on white. I'm not worrying about what they doing. They're straight. Like, white people are good. No matter what they do. Like, this is what I be trying to tell people. You try to be like white people. This is like saying if you got $1 million, right? And I got $10, and you out in the club and you spending all your money on the strippers and you buying big cars, you could do that because you have the money. I don't. So I can't do what you do. I have to get my mind right so that I can do what I can do. And that's what we got to do as Black people. Like you said about the integration thing. What messed us up with integration is that we got it. Like, I can understand what they was trying to do with the equal thing, but what we messed up as is we got to a point where we forgot to be ourselves and we start trying to be like them. You know what I mean? Like, we're the ones. You know what I mean? Like, we're the trendsetters, the trendsetters. Everybody want to be like us. Like, people don't want to be Black, but they want to be Black. You know what I mean? Like, they want to be like us until it's time to really be Black. Yeah. Then that's when they got a problem.
Go and say it like my band Paul Mooney. Hey, I won't be there, but
right.
Everybody
want to be Black.
Yeah, and that's what it is, man. Like, we are the most powerful people in the world, man. And that's not trying to be racist or prejudiced, whatever you call it, but it's facts. Like, nobody else could go through what we went through in this world and still be here and still, you know what I mean? Like, and think about it. I always say what's so great about Black people, man, that I love is that with all that they have done to us, we don't hate them. We just want them to leave us alone and let us do us. And that's it. We don't need nothing. But think about it, man. Like I always say, everything we can do ourselves. We don't need to be, it's nothing about them that intrigues us except money. You know what I mean? And that's a downfall because people start thinking money is the answer. Like, don't get me wrong, man. Like, I know for a fact, I'm 52 years young, man. I've never had a lot of money. But my life has been great, like, great. You know what I mean? And it has nothing to do with money, man. Like, money is not the answer. Like, don't get me wrong, for certain things, yeah, we need extra money to put in the community and do this, yes, and that. But we can't think money is the answer because you give a dumb person money, or you still got a dumb person. They just got money. You know what I mean? So I feel we need education. We got to have morals. We got to have standards. And we all got to be held accountable, man. Like, if I make a mistake, I have no problem with a brother of mine saying, yo, Ty, what you said was wrong, and it was wrong because of this and that, and I'll check myself. But we don't have that now. You tell somebody, like, somebody could be doing something, the most ignorant thing in the world, and you tell them that, they'll get mad at you and won't even check themselves.
Word.
You know what I mean? Like, I never understood that. Like, I'm glad I got people around me that will call me and say, yo, Ty, you know, this ain't right, or, you know, and then we have a discussion, figure it out. And I'm not big. Hey, I know I'm not perfect. My goal in life is to be perfect, but I know for a fact it'll never happen. So I don't mind somebody checking me because that's how I grew up. I grew up where your word is your bond. Don't say it out your mouth if you can't stand by it. You know what I mean? And now, these days, people say and just do anything with no repercussions. But our foundation is messed up, and we got to get back to a strong foundation for sure.
Word, bro. Word.
So on that, I'm a get ready to close this out with what I think we need. Man, y'all covered almost everything. One of the things that I want to do on our next call, I want to get some people on here, and me and Miko, we had this discussion because I think it helps with our foundation, right? So we've been doing. I actually was doing my econ way before Miko, and over the last year and a half, probably 2 years, I fell back. Just doing other things. Um, but I think what my econ, what I love, the balance that it gave me, and where we suffer as people, especially Black people,
Financial literacy,
that economic structure, that knowledge, right? It,
Uh,
like, I always tell people it's not about, it's the reason why my econ is so powerful, and it was a couple of reasons. Number one, it has outstanding leaders,
right.
Christian
Have to have that.
Christian-based leaders that generally help people and that grew up poor, right? So I think a lot of our problems in our community is that because we don't understand economics,
That's right.
oh, it's not about money. You have to learn how to navigate, right? Before navigation came out, how many of us really knew how to read a map? I know I still don't. I ain't no dumb.
I didn't.
I
When
know how to, like, I used to be
when
looking, like, how you get, like, because there was no instruction, right? It was like if you either you knew it or you didn't. And
That's
so
right.
people going through life that's making a living, but they don't understand finances. And a lot of
Thomas
our
got
issues start at that level. So for me, the next call I want to do is I want to get a lot of people, and I want Miko to educate a lot of people. It ain't about, I always tell people, like, even when I was heavy into my econ, like, I'm not talking to you to recruit you, because I'm good.
right.
I'm trying to enlighten you because I realized what I've learned in life financially is because of something that someone showed me that I didn't know.
That's right.
And so often, not just finances, but anything, like, we just politics. Man, I didn't know nothing about politics until my wife sat me down and was like, I want you to watch this. And I was like, man, I don't watch politics. And because my mind was like that, and because I said that, over the last 2 years, I realized it's a whole lot of stuff that goes into politics that's not political. Like,
Right.
right?
I learned
Right?
that this.
Yeah.
I learned that on this election.
Exactly.
I learned that.
So
I did.
And now I even told Ty, and Ty started watching stuff. He would call me and be like dropping jewels on me, and I would laugh because I'm like, man, we wouldn't even have this conversation a year ago, right?
Right.
So what we gotta get, in being role models, we gotta teach each other, right? So my goal is that the next quarter we have, everybody invite somebody on the call. And I'm gonna let Miko run the call, and I want him to just give us like some overview. I want him to talk about finances in a way, not just business related, but like education,
life related.
because we don't know what we don't know because no one ever showed us what we really don't know, and it's really hurting our communities in terms of credit, in terms of resources, in terms of, as y'all say, 10 of us get together and get a bank. We just think about all of the money that we've come into in our lifetime. And we knew what we knew.
We could have bought land together.
Now we could have bought land.
Could have bought land together.
We could own stuff. But here's the key thing: it's never too late to do that.
Too late, right?
So
we still can.
We have to, and then not only that, we have to educate our younger generation. So I'm gonna talk to Miko, and we're gonna sit down. But my next call is we're gonna talk about economics, and I want us to each invite one person on the call, and we just gonna talk. Everybody gonna have input, but I want Miko to give us, because this is the great thing about this. This is somebody I educated and brung into business, who now see how life is, who now I learn stuff from.
Right.
Like that. Not only is that humbling, but to me, I love that because I've seen
That's dope. That's life.
I've seen his growth and his development and his passion. And I'm always honest with him. I'm just like, Meek, man, I got so much going on, my work schedule, this and that. He always tell me, man, bro, don't worry about it. I know everything's going on, but I know what you're capable of, and I know. And I was just thinking about the other day, like, I got to get back to doing what I really love doing, and that's people.
Let me tell y'all,
finance.
Rome, I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy about what you just said. How I know life is great, dog. I just had a conversation with myself the other day, and I was saying to myself, because I'm still in my econ, I still pay my dues every month and everything. But what got me frustrated with my econ is that when we first started doing it, in my mind, I was like, okay, this is great. What I'm going to do is show this to everybody that I know and get everybody I know on the right page. And then when the people I know, so-called know, didn't jump on board, that frustrated me. Because I'm saying,
of course,
I know you broke. I know you don't know this. I'm trying to teach you something. But what I did do as being a smart person is I still live by my econ principles. Like my mentality, I still am a businessman. Like I run my life according to my econ still. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I save my bread, put my bread away. Like, you know what I mean? Like my econ has shown me a lot. And I said to myself, dog, 2020 was the craziest year ever. And I'm still here. So I swear to you, yesterday I said to myself, 2021, I'm gonna get my business popping. I'm not gonna take no for an answer. I'm not gonna take it personal, but I'm gonna spread my econ to everybody I can touch. Whether they accept it or not is on them. Like it ain't if I give you the right thing, you don't take it, it's on you. But it's on me if I don't spread it. So we know Miko is the man.
I'm just now learning.
Educator.
I'm just now learning that I've had my stock portfolio for about 4 years now. And I wanted to join for so long, and I was like, man, it takes so much money to join the Wish name. And I'm like, I started doing research. I said, hold up, no, I can get this. And I just started Wish name. I just started, I just got into my thing. And I just started adding on to my portfolio. Tesla and just started buying, Home Depot and all the stuff. What I did was, it was kind of crazy. The stuff that I use, the stuff that I use throughout the day, Johnson & Johnson and stuff like that, I just bought into it. I said, you know what? If I'm gonna use it, why not go ahead and just pay myself? Why not go ahead and pay myself? I mean, AT&T is my phone bill. I bought AT&T, like, stuff that I use, General Electric, stuff, and I just, because like I said, I'm not a trader. I'm just a long-term investor. And that's how I took it. That's, just learning. But it's about learning what you can and what you can't. And you can do everything as long as you put the research into it.
I'm telling you, so
it's perfect.
What we gonna do, man, is that our calls is gonna be, our next couple of calls is gonna be educational, informative, and
Rome, before you wish name, I wish I could have invited because he would have been a good person to talk to about the community and the kids as of today. I wish I could have got in touch with Glaze. I couldn't get in touch with him because I would like to invite him on.
Yeah, we definitely. I looked at he's a little I looked at some of his videos. Yeah, he's a real dude. Brian Glaze.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely. So we gonna make a commitment to ourselves. And my wife, I had this conversation with my wife, and we even talked about different things and just learning and educating ourselves and educating people, because everybody's not in a good position like all of us are, right?
No.
All know people that, let's just keep it real, because we was there, that just not doing well financially. You know,
No question.
and I always say this: giving somebody money is one thing, giving somebody knowledge is a true,
Totally different.
right?
No
Totally
doubt.
So
No.
for our next call, and we're gonna set up a date, we all gonna invite one person, right? And the call's gonna be about listening, receiving, and then applying.
Right.
Listening,
Okay.
receiving,
Okay.
and then applying. And I'm gonna get with Miko. I'm just gonna have him talk for a little while, and then we all gonna interact. And I want us to we got to be a part of the change, right? So whether it's we want to fix up our communities, educating young people, teaching our young ladies about respecting your body, teaching our young men about respecting your brother out there, that he's not your op. You know what I'm saying? That that's your brother. When he goes down, that's another mother who has to bury her son, right? We want to teach
Yes.
our people a whole bunch of stuff. And I want us to start with educating ourselves from a financial standpoint. So that's what's our next call gonna be about. I'm gonna send it out to everybody. I'm gonna pick a day where, like a weekend or something like that, where we all could get on or whatever, and then we just gonna rock and roll, man. We 2021. I want, me personally, I want to do things differently. Me and my wife already started. We just painted our basement, got floors down, got our equipment today. Like, I'm gonna start working out, start eating different. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be who we were, and then say we want to get better.
Well, Rome, you never ate bad though. You weren't a
Nah, but
bad.
as we getting older, I'm gonna keep it 100. I never ate bad, and I still don't eat bad, but I'm a
You
real
cut meat out a long time
I'm
ago.
I'm a junk food, like cookies.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that. You like
Like,
Troy.
gotta be
You
honest.
like Troy.
So I like
Like
sweet,
BT say
right?
Troy was.
Yeah, but uh, we gotta get better, right? So the only way to get better is to look at yourself and realize your areas of weakness, and don't lie to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
I
Nico and I had a conversation, and I just told him flat out, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be, and I'm definitely gonna lean on you. So I'm gonna retool my time,
oh.
so I can spend time with him, and then we could talk, because it's a lot.
Oh, I'm with it.
That,
Don't leave me out, son. I'm with it
yeah,
too, Miko.
Yeah.
it's a whole lot of
Real.
people.
I'm a grab. I'm a, you know, like you said, how many what you bring one person? I'll ask Big. You know, I could either ask Big Pat. You know, because Big
But
Pat's
here's
on
the
that
thing,
too.
before we get off, because I know we've been on for a little while. Here's the big thing I want to tell everybody. What made me have success in my econ when I started is that I already went in with the mentality that not everybody's gonna get it, because
Right. Oh yeah. Oh, no question.
because we're creatures of habits, so we're used to doing things a certain way, and so I never really got frustrated, and I realized that me becoming a Christian, you know how many people tried to tell me about Christ years, and I'd be like, what? Like, I'm not, listen,
Right. No
you know what
question.
I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to hear that. So, but they never gave up on me. You know what I'm saying?
No question.
At that stage in my life, I wasn't ready to accept it. But
Right.
once you're able to receive what it is that God has for you, or what you desire for yourself, then no matter what it is, it's going to come to pass, and you're going to receive it. So when you out talking to people about finances, you got to realize that no one ever taught us anything about finances. So if you're not mature enough you're gonna have that, oh, I don't need that or this, that, and that's fine. The next person, on to the next. Because it might be 5 years later, 10 years later, 3 months or 2 months, but you know that you have this gift for them, but you got to realize everybody isn't always ready to receive a gift every time. So with that being said, man, we gonna end our chop shop call. I want to thank all you brothers for being on.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, man, 2021, man, we about building. We're gonna build our communities through knowledge, through love, and friendships and relationships, man. We ain't about all of that other stuff. And we're gonna teach our young men to be young men, our young women to be young women, and our adults, man, to be adults. Like we are the representation of what these kids see. So if we aren't the role models, and if they not getting what they need, we got to look at ourselves and say, are we doing enough?
Right.
With that being said, man, I want to say salute, peace to all of y'all. Y'all brothers stay blessed, and we will definitely get on soon. And in that next series that we have, man, it's gonna be powerful.
All right, kid. Well, all right, kid.
boy.
Everybody have a good one.
All right, peace. Word.